Hey, Hugh here. In this video, I want to talk about how you can land your ideal clients. And when I say ideal, I don't just mean in terms of like what they pay you, but people that you actually enjoy working with. As a business kind of consultant, coach, agency owner, I've been in this space for 8 years and I've worked with some incredible clients over the years that I've been very, very grateful to work with and still am with, the clients I have. But I've also had a lot of stressful clients. I've also had clients that I probably knew I shouldn't have taken on at the time, or who maybe just I wasn't too sure about when we started, and then they turned out to be a massive headache and just caused more stress than it was worth. And I know a lot of the time, especially when money's tight and especially when you don't have a huge client base, you kind of want to just take on everybody. But really, for you to expand, I think energy is so important. Like, I think that if we are really stressed out and we're not enjoying the work we're doing, then it is so hard to grow a business. Like if you grow a team, if you have people you work with and you communicate with regularly, if you're around people that are just draining your energy, then that's going to affect everything you do in the business. As a CEO, as a founder, as the coach, the consultant, the person who's like driving your business forward, like your energy is so important. I was at an event in Australia a few years ago, and it was with a guy called Kerwin Ray. If you're not familiar with him, you should check out his stuff. He's really, really great performance coach for entrepreneurs. But one thing that he said that has stuck with me ever since is that the business will only grow at the rate of the entrepreneur driving it forward. And it took me a little while for that to sink in. But what I really take from that and what I've taken from that since is that if there are problems in business, it's usually because of me. Like I can, if I have a stressful client, then it's because of me, right? It's because I have onboarded somebody who maybe wasn't the perfect fit. Or maybe I didn't set expectations properly when we started, or maybe I just didn't market myself effectively. And so I attracted the wrong person to begin with. And that's really what I want to get at in this video. It's like how you actually attract the right people is down to the message that you put out in the marketplace. I think having an important offer is great. Like having an offer written out that makes sense, that promises the right thing is good. And I've talked about that in a previous video. But sharing your personality, I think, is really important as well. Like sharing your values is really important. Like for me, I am driven and I like making money, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, like I really, if I think about like my most important values, like my relationship with my partner and in the future will be our family and my health are like those things are like the most important thing to me. And the end of last year, I was completely burnt out and I was doing a lot of work that I wasn't enjoying. I was in a business partnership that just wasn't really, logically, it just didn't really make sense. Like it kind of felt like we wanted to do two different things. And there was a lot of stress and uncertainty, and it was unnecessary. And it was causing me to feel very burnt out and uninspired and just not happy with the way that things were going. As a result of that, because I was like stressed and stuff, I wasn't looking after my health as well as I should have been. I was going to the gym and eating relatively well, but I'd also fallen into the bad habit of drinking every night. I was having like 1 to 2 glasses of wine every night to switch off. And whilst some people might say that's healthy, like for me, as somebody who has always been into like health and fitness, like that was not a good habit to have. I've since quit drinking and I feel a lot better, but that came down to me kind of getting really clear on my values again and prioritizing health. And so when I post content online, I talk about health quite a lot, even though I'm not like selling a health related product. I think it's important that we share our values through our content. The other aspect of this is video, right? Like I believe that video is so important. If you're a person to person business, you're working with another person and you're selling yourself essentially, you have a coaching program, a consulting, offer, even an agency offer, but you're working intimately with other people, then I think your personality is such an important thing to put forward within your marketing. And video is the best way to do that. Like you can use written words to communicate, but like things like tonality and stuff don't come across as well in the written word. I've found, like even as a copywriter, I still think that video is the most powerful platform we can use to put ourselves out there. And then, how we present that is pretty simple. You've got like short format content you can use across Instagram and Facebook and, LinkedIn and things like that, and YouTube Shorts. You've got long format content, which I think I've talked about this in a previous video, but I think YouTube is such an underrated platform for businesses. Like, it's used a lot for influencers and like how-to videos and things like that. But for business people, like, I think it's massively underrated and underused. And I think for us to deliver our content through YouTube is such a powerful platform. You're able to build so much more depth and relatability and personability that it's just going to allow you to accelerate relationship building much faster than written word and just relying on short format content. I'm also big at delivering offers through video as well. So one of the things that I do with clients is write out and script out video sales letters. And a big part of this is communicating the offer, but I think also solidifying this in your story and how you acquired the skills to promise that offer is really important as well. Like, for me, I've been running ads for over I think coming up on 9 years now. I started running ads for my own business when I was a personal trainer. And then when I went online, kind of doing online health coaching and nutrition coaching, I just learned ads because I needed to run ads for my own business. And that evolved over time. And I was able to kind of start, working with some friends and helping them with their business. And, it kind of snowballed, worked for a big agency, and then kind of left that and did freelancing and launched my own agency. And the story of how I came to acquire my skills, I think, is important, because you can promise the world, but it's not always believable, right? If you have an offer that's like a bold claim, which a lot of offers are, you need to be able to back that up with results, and a good story helps tie that together, right? In terms of believability, it's like, if you're saying to somebody that you're going to help them scale to $1 million a month, for example, then people want to know, like, how did you acquire the skills to be able to do that? Because that's a bold claim. That's a very bold thing to promise, for example. So really, like, if you are not using video right now in your business and you're selling a personable service like coaching, consulting, then I would look at how you're strategizing your marketing, because it is such an important, such an important component of marketing. Like, showing your personality, and especially through video, is going to put you miles above what everybody else is doing, right? Like, when I started doing these videos recently, like, I was on YouTube years ago, and then I stopped doing it for a long time to focus on, Facebook and other platforms. But like, recently, I had a lot of hesitation about doing videos, because I thought, well, it's very saturated. There's a lot of people doing videos online. But the reality is, it's not at all. It's just that I keep seeing people, because I'm in this kind of business to business space, and I think that it's saturated. But the reality is, for the vast majority of people, they're not producing videos on YouTube, and they're not producing videos at all. And so you show up on, video on YouTube or other platforms, then straight away it's going to build a level of authority and reciprocity and kind of trust that you're not going to get just by posting photos or writing content, or writing copy. So hopefully this video was helpful, and hopefully this is going to give you some insight as to, like, not just give you a kick to produce some videos, but the reasoning behind it. Because I've seen this with clients where they've started plugging in more video content into their follow-up systems, into their content on the back end from generating leads, and it's helped them not just produce more sales, but produce more sales with the right people. As I was saying at the start, like, you want to attract the right people. Like, share your value, share your insights, share education, share value with your audience on video, and you're going to qualify people much more than just running a basic offer and relying on that. So hopefully this was useful. If it was, like the video, hit subscribe. And if you want to check out what we're doing, check the link in the description below, and you can see kind of what we've got running at the moment over at my company.